Hey, thank you for joining us on today's Know the Cause. How does a salmon salad, Kaufman 1, salmon salad sound good? So at the bottom of the show, Lindsay's going to be here talking about that. Let's go up from there. I need to teach you a little bit about alcohol, our diet, and good health. Okay, so we'll take 5 or 6 minutes and do that. And then Dr. Greg Emerson is here to talk about bacteria and fungus, all things bacteria and fungus or germs. Marty Whittakin, certified clinical nutritionist, is going to be talking about bioidentical hormones, not the ones the doctor reached in and handed you like they were candy, bioidentical hormones. And let's open with Dr. Ann Louise Gittleman, New York Times bestselling author, talking about something new called Mag-Key. All that and more on this Know the Cause. My name is Doug Kaufman. For the past 40 years, I've dedicated my life and even my career to finding the root cause of disease. Join me in a team of physicians, pharmacists, and scientists, and soon you too will know the cause. Okay, you guessed it right. Dr. Ann Louise Gittleman joins us in studio right now. Man, she's been busy. You and I are probably the two busiest people in the world. You with your products, with what have you written, 600 books or something, and every one keeps going on the New York. I mean, Fat Flush. Every book you write gets commended by everybody in this business. I mean, you are busy, to say the least.
And so are you, Doug Kaufman.
So when we get together, this is so much fun. When she and James are in the Dallas area, we get on the phone and say, yeah, come on by. Let's do some filming. Today we want to talk about magnesium. We all know about magnesium. It's just like calcium, right? It's just a mineral. Well, this is a little bit different. So Mag-Key, do tell, because this is one of your very exciting products.
I'm very excited about Mag-Key, and I'm very excited about Mag-Key because it is the magnesium par excellence. It is a marvelous magnesium that has 4 cofactors. And if you take a look at the label, you'll see that it's magnesium, which is complexed with a taurinate, with a glycinate, with a threonate, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's the orotate that we also have in that product.
Do you want me to pick that up and look at it?
You pick it up and look at it, because I have to tell you something.
Orotate, taurinate, yep. Yep,
so we've got the best,
and the B6,
we've got the best cofactors and the absorption factor, which is vitamin B6, because everybody needs magnesium. It is the new calcium. It has overcome calcium. We need much more magnesium than calcium, twice as much magnesium as calcium. We need it because it's a hormone rescuer. It's good for whatever ails you in terms of your heart, your brain, or even if you're a little bit of nervous, it helps you sleep at night. It's nature's natural sleeping pill. I personally take 4 to 8 capsules of magnesium a day, Mag-Key specifically, because it doesn't make you have to run to the ladies' room, the bathroom, so to speak, because it's not a laxative, but it's very important for your tissues. We've had individuals that take this to lower their blood pressure naturally. And within 20 minutes, if you take 3 to 4 capsules, you'll see that your blood pressure can come down about 20 points. We've seen this in some of our clinical studies.
I didn't realize how important magnesium was until way back when I'm working in Los Angeles with these doctors. Patients used to tell me before they'd go to bed at night, they'd take a heaping cup of Epsom salts, right?
Oh,
and
yes.
put it in their bath. And I think, Epsom salts, who would do that? Do you do it to relax? Magnesium sulfate. I mean,
it's magnesium sulfate, but the problem with Epsom salts is that it is magnesium sulfate,
right.
And a lot of individuals don't have the ability to really metabolize sulfur-bearing products very well. And so I had to create something that I felt that everybody could absorb, females and males, whether they have high blood pressure, problems with hypertension, problems also with their hormones, because as the hormone helper, this helps us also to be able to metabolize fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. It's necessary for 350 chemical processes in the body, and I don't think there's another mineral in the system that can really top what this particular mineral can do.
But then there are going to be those who argue with you and say, hey, if I'm eating foods, I'm getting magnesium from my foods. Not true.
Not true, because you lose it under stress.
Yeah.
You lose a ton of it under stress in this day and time. So you're losing it because of stress. And how many of us are eating a ton of almonds or a ton of greens or a ton of any of the other,
right?
or anything that's organic that's going to give you the raw unadulterated mineral. So it is, to me, it is a macro mineral. It is one of the most important minerals known to man. And it's especially important because it's important for blood sugar regulation. And we all have issues with blood sugar in this day and time.
So I'm going into a doctor, and the doctor is Ann-Louise Gilman, and I'm saying if I was to take one supplement that would help me, because I have postprandial drowsiness. I eat and I fall asleep. I don't sleep well at night, right? Look at my skin. Look what's happening to me. Doctors say it's aging. You would say this...
It's magnesium.
Yeah, this type of magnesium specifically.
I would say I did the research, Doug, because my women all need magnesium. They need it for their bones. And you know, if you can put an oral magnesium on your gums, it will actually strengthen your gums and stop your teeth from falling out.
Wow.
This is amazing stuff, let me tell you something. So the magnesium that I use is 5 milligrams per pound of body weight. And this is the one that I go to because it doesn't create any of those detox symptoms. And it keeps the magnesium where you want it, in your brain, in your liver, in your heart, and in your bloodstream.
By the by, I really like your new book, Before the Change. She sent me a copy, advanced copy, with a nice little note in it that I'll keep forever. Taking charge of your perimenopause. Think magnesium, think her products. By the way, for more information, Unikey Health, UNIKEY Health.com, or call them toll free at 800-888-4353. It's my honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we all need magnesium.
Maybe it's been 30 years I've known Marty. Marty Whittakin is a certified clinical nutritionist. She was a big wig with the National Health Food Administration and so forth. Invited me out to speak one time in Austin, Texas. Remember that? That was so much fun. Marty is here right now because I have a question that Marty can answer. What's HRT? What's hormone replacement therapy? And do we have choices? Welcome, Marty.
Thank you for having me. HRT is kind of a dirty word in some circles now. If you think back, there was a time when we were browbeaten to take hormone replacement therapy, and it was kind of implied we were pretty dumb if we didn't, because it was going to save us from heart attacks and preserve our brain and our looks and our libido and all those things. And then one day they got the results of a big study and said, oh, gee, maybe it causes cancer, and well, what if it causes heart disease? And then all of a sudden, nobody would do it, as though women stopped needing hormones. The problem was, in the beginning, all of these doctors that were prescribing hormone replacement therapy, it was Premarin, which is pregnant mare urine. It was like 7 estrogens. Some of them were sort of similar to ours, but it was basically really good for horses, not so much for women. And a synthetic progesterone, which interfered with our real progesterone and didn't do all of the jobs it was supposed to do. So yes, there were problems. But today, I think it's still as important for bone health and for vitality and for protection from disease to have sufficient hormones. Ideally, you get really healthy and you make your own, and you don't have so much stress that your adrenal glands shut down. They're supposed to help out with that estrogen. But if you need more hormones, you're tested and you're low, then use the ones, and this goes for men as well, any hormones that you need, they should be identical to the ones that nature gave you to begin with. Let's not do the chemistry set just because it can be patented and some company is going to make a lot of money on it. We get up to normal levels of hormones that are just like yours, and good things happen instead of bad things.
You know, you bring up a point here. I think you just liberated millions of women. You mean we don't have to take hormone replacement therapy? Look, there are so many women in my life who are aging and have never taken hormone replacement therapy. I'll bet you half of women don't. It's the other half that keep going to the OBGYN that are being told you may want to, your symptoms are due to your hormones declining. Natural hormone replacement, give me an idea of something.
It's called bioidentical, and it has to come usually from a compounding pharmacy. And so that's a good place to go and find a doctor. Go to the compounding pharmacy and ask them who they get good reports on.
Okay, that's a good idea. And even compounding pharmacists are being beat up right now because the regular pharmacists, they want the status quo to be maintained. But a compound pharmacy, Google in your hometown, compound pharmacy, and go into a compound pharmacy and say, look, I'm hot flashes and I got all sorts of things going on. Can you introduce me to a doctor who would prescribe compounded, natural hormones for me? That's kind of the approach.
Exactly.
Marty, you can learn more about Marty Whittakin, my friend, at healthybynatureshow.com. Look, I love this book. Are you taking the purple pill? Have you been on a long time? The Probiotic Cure, Fat-Free Folly. Love that. Digestive Health University. These are all from Marty, and you can get more information on healthybynatureshow.com. Thank you, Marty, for coming in today. You bet. All the way from Brisbane, Australia, a friend of mine, Dr. Greg Emerson, he's a physician, is going to talk about bacteria and fungus. Oh, speaking of fungus, single-celled fungus is called yeast. Let's do a segment on alcohol and your health after that.
I've said it before, the longest running war on planet Earth, it's bacteria versus fungi. Mold is where we get most of our antibiotics from to kill bacteria. And bacteria try and kill mold. They hate each other because they compete for the same resources. The problem is we are one giant sack of bacteria, especially in our gut, and the mitochondria inside our cells, of which we have 1 quadrillion of. You let fungus overgrow in your gut and it's going to start disrupting the microbiome and inflaming the gut wall. Best ways to get fungus to overgrow in the gut? Kill off probiotics with antibiotics, feed the resident yeast with sugar, swallow mold from the environment, avoid the sun and live in a world of abnormal electromagnetic frequencies coming out of your phone, computer and LED lights. I don't make this stuff up. It's time to fight back. Here's what we can do. Minimize the use of antibiotics. Use fermented foods. Replace sugar and grains with healthy fats like on the Kaufman diet. Eliminate mold from your home and foods. Embrace the sun and reduce exposure to abnormal EMFs. Focus on solutions, not problems. This is Dr. Greg Emerson in Dallas, Texas with Doug Kaufman at Know the Cause Studios.
Okay, confession time for Doug Kaufman. The way I handled my post-traumatic stress at the age of 21 coming home from Vietnam was alcohol. It really worked. It was limited to weekends because I worked in hospitals and clinics and so forth. But boy, come Friday night, my friends and I would go out and drink alcohol. It really wasn't until 36 years ago that we began having children that I totally said, this probably isn't a good thing. Now I want to show you this, if we can put the camera over here. This is how much a study said, this and a half gallon more. So this is 5.5 gallons of beer that's okay to drink every month. So says a new study. And yet, I communicated with the doctor who did this study. Drinking alcohol key to living past 90. Man, and if you believe that, I've got some .com stock I want to sell you. New York Daily Times headline expounds on work done at the University of California in Irvine. Booze beats exercise according to a long-term study. So I communicated directly with the lead author of this. She is awesome. I hope she's going to come on Know the Cause. And she said, Doug, that wasn't my intention at all. We're just statisticians. I'm a physician, but we're just statisticians who did this work. And here's what we found. The study involved 1,700 who drank 2 beers or 2 glasses of wine a day. They found an 18% reduction in premature deaths. Who knows, except God, when we're going to die, that those who abstained from alcohol had. So she said, all we did was put the stats together, and those who drank 5.5 gallons of beer a month, 66 gallons of beer a year, seemed to fare better with regard to premature death, whatever premature death is. Okay, so here's the flip side of that coin, and take it from a guy who now abstains. I'm a teetotaler. Really? The largest study of its kind, this came out 2 days after the doctor's study came out, supporting alcohol. Largest study of its kind finds alcohol use biggest factor for dementia. Now look at these stats, 57,000, 2/3 were men, 1/3 women. The findings indicate that heavy drinking and alcohol use disorders are the most important risk factors for dementia, and especially important for those which start before the age of 65 and which lead to premature deaths. Again, whatever those are, right? Deaths that occur before they should have, premature deaths. But I found this one, not a 1700 study, and they probably took college kids. Who wants to drink 2 beers a day? I do. I would have. And these are people as we age, right? The one leading factor in dementia, senile dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, the one leading factor was their predisposition to drinking alcohol. Not in all cases, but in some. And I never thought it was alcohol anyway. Alcohol is a mycotoxin. I think antibiotics can do the same thing because penicillin-based antibiotics are mycotoxins. I think aspergillus in our corn, in our wheat, in our air supply can do the same thing. Alcohol is just one of the things. Fungal mycotoxin exposure in alcohol. Now here you go, Council of Agricultural Science and Technology. Brewer's yeast is the fungus, and the mycotoxin is called alcohol. Producers often use grains that are too contaminated with fungus and mycotoxins to be used for table food, so the risk is higher that you're consuming more than just alcohol in your beverage. Did you get that? They buy old hops, old malt, old grapes that are already moldy. The fermentation process probably goes much better. They want that to be moldy, right? Oh, gosh, you guys, there's such an understanding. So here, safe alcohol, get this. A new analysis finds compelling, this is on WebMD, compelling evidence that drinking alcohol can cause at least 7 types of cancer. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, they're called IARC, I reference them often. They agree, listing alcohol as known to cause cancer. Alcohol is known to cause cancer. No, not the glass of wine Saturday evening. It's this kind of alcohol, 66 gallons of beer a year. Do the math on that over 10 years, and that's okay. As a matter of fact, one study shows that'll actually cut your risk by 18% of premature deaths. You want to go with those odds, folks, or do you trust that this research, International Academy or Agency of Research on Alcohol, is proper? They say that drinking alcohol, it is a known carcinogen. All I'm telling you, I'm not going home with you. I'm not saying don't take your pills, don't drink alcohol. I'm just saying that an educated consumer is a good one. Now you know both sides of the story. And for some of you, that 18% risk, that might be a good one for you. For the rest, just be careful out there. Know you can overdo anything, including air and water. Okay, into the kitchen we go with Lindsay now. Be careful when you buy salmon, folks. There's 2 kinds of salmon, farm raised and then wild caught. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Lindsay Crouch with Guiltless Foods, here for Know the Cause. Today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite salmon salad. Now this salad doesn't have any greens, it's just a bunch of nice veggies and some olive oil and lemon, garlic. It's really delicious and light and fresh, and I think you're going to love it. So we're going to start by adding our veggies to the bowl. I already cut up some of this onion here. Go ahead and get that off our cutting board. Finish off. This is going to be a lengthwise cut, nice and long, so when you're eating the salad, you get a good bit of that nice, delicious red onion. But we're going to tame it down with some lemon and olive oil so it won't be as pungent. Our fish is poached, our salmon's poached, and so it's really light, and so you're actually going to really like some of the big, bold flavors of the raw onion and garlic and lemon that we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave the skin on the cucumber. Of course, there's that good pectin and vegetable skins. There's still lots of vitamins and nutrients. I don't always leave it on, but in this recipe, I like it on for a little bit of the crunch and the sturdiness, the bite of the cucumber. It's a little bit crunchier when you leave it on, isn't it? I'm sliding all over. In a perfect world, I would have, you know, a nice non-slip mat under my cutting board. Go ahead and finish that off. All right, and this one's fun because you can just throw everything right in the bowl. It's no mess, no fuss, it's really super easy. I've already taken care of our celery. It's a nice fine dice, so not everything is real big. I've got capers. We're gonna add those in. Garlic. Now if you'll take your garlic clove and go across and do this about 3 times. This is a nice, fast, easy way, look, we can get a 4th one in there, to dice your garlic, and then we're gonna go lengthwise and not all the way to the end. We're gonna leave the end intact. This makes it really easy so you don't have garlic flying all over your cutting board. Nice, easy mince there, and you turn it, and you go the other way. The things you learn to be an efficient cook when you're short on time. Add that to the bowl. Some nice dill. I love herbs. They add so much flavor and aroma to a dish like this. That's just about 1 sprig. If you like more dill, by all means, go for more. And last but not least, our main ingredient in our salmon salad is our poached salmon. Now what I did was made a few extra pieces, or I made a few last night, ate one for dinner with my husband, and I made some extras because I knew I was gonna make the salmon today. And I'm just gonna take a wooden spoon and kind of break it up into nice big chunks. Just kind of get in there. I love poached salmon because it's light and fresh, and it's, you know, gonna stay well in the fridge since there's not a lot of oils and butters and fats on it. It's not gonna kind of congeal and get weird in the fridge overnight. It's just real light. Scoop that right into our bowl. See how big and kind of meaty those chunks are? It's gonna be really nice. And last but not least, we're gonna add our liquids. Got some fresh lemon. Slice that up. Maybe. Catch the seeds. If you have a juicer, of course you can use that too. I love citrus on basically anything and everything when it's appropriate. Of course, it's antifungal. This is a phase 1 approved diet or salad, that is. Next, we have our extra virgin olive oil. Just do a nice drizzle around the salad. Enough to kind of coat. We're gonna toss this. Gonna finish off with some sea salt. Black pepper. All right, kind of bring this here, make sure I can get my mussels into it, and kind of just flip it over. You don't want to toss it too much because you don't want to break down those big chunks of salmon too fine. You kind of want it to be a little hearty. And just blend it all in. Got that big chunk of onion sticking together, just break it up. Look at how pretty and bold and bright this is. Now, if you wanted to, you could by all means put down a bed of greens and lay this on top, or you can just eat it as is, or you could even put it in a guiltless tortilla. You could wrap it up, whatever. It's very versatile, it's fresh, it's light, and it'll stay in your fridge. Just cover it with some saran wrap, and you could eat off of it for a couple days, no problem. Thanks so much for watching. For this recipe and more, head over to knowthecause.com.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Ann Louise Gittleman. On the bottle itself, for highly absorbable forms of magnesium, plus vitamin B6, pyridoxine. This is a wonderful product. There's your code, your coupon code. KTC is in Know the Cause 20. There is our phone number, 800-888-4355. 5'3", good buddies of mine. I have loved her for probably 25 years. Reading what she writes is absolutely amazing. Folks, also thank you to Dr. Greg Emerson. Thank you for Lindsay in the kitchen. And thank you, Marty Whittakin, for her information on bioidentical hormones. Alcohol, think. God bless you, folks. I'll see you next time.